Hi, I'm Bybreen Samuels, and welcome to The Smart Years, a place where baby boomers can reinvent, thrive, and live well during their third act of life. And in today's show, I'm introducing the first part of a micro series to do with travel. The reason being is because I went to the Destinations and Travel Show a couple of weeks ago, one of my annual trips in London, whereby they showcase all the travel trends for 2025. And there are a number of things that were pertaining to us as baby boomers. So I thought I would just break them down into bite sized pieces and introduce them in individual videos. So the one I'm focusing on today is the wellness industry. So we all lived through the horrors of COVID. And now that we really are in the post-COVID world, the industry around wellness and well-being and taking care of ourselves has really exploded, because in 2022, the global industry was worth $822 billion. And as of December 2024, that has increased to $1 trillion. So you can see this is an exploding industry that pertains to all of us, but in particular, us as baby boomers are really wanting to explore all that it has to offer. So it's been driven by our cultural and consumer interests around how do we improve our well-being, how do we improve our mental health, emotional, spiritual, psychological, all types of modalities that can help us live the best lives that we can, and using travel as a way to do it. So some of the demand areas are around thermal bathing, spa retreats, yoga, meditation, all to aid in our relaxation. So the key features of some of those include holistic wellness retreats. So this is really for yoga enthusiasts as well as those seeking meditative practices. And the regions that are really popular for this type of holiday are Bali in Indonesia, as well as Costa Rica in Central America. So they are two very well known areas where there's a high demand for, as I say, this holistic wellness practice and retreats. The second one is around spa and thermal bathing. This is huge, and destinations include quite a few in Europe. That, for example, is Germany and Hungary. There's a new area that's emerging, and that is with the sky lagoons in Iceland. Now, there tends to be a coupling with this. So, if you're going for this spa thermal type of holiday in the areas I've mentioned, they tend to be in combination with cultural experiences in those countries. So, look out for packages for those, or put together your own package, become your own travel guide. The third one are really around active holiday seekers. And so, if you're somebody like me who's really into fitness and movement, then the types of holidays that are really exploding are walking holidays. And one suggested area is the Scottish Highlands, as well as hiking. And that tends to be in the Alps. Now, you're not only strengthening your body and including fitness and movement, but you're also very much deeply engaged with the natural elements. So, if the outdoor world and fitness appeal to you, then the active wellness holiday could be right up your street. Then there is this whole section around stress relief and detoxing. We are living in a technologically driven world. You know, we're too attached to our phones and our laptops and our iPads, etc. And we need to actually build in time where we can have a respite for all of this. And this is another sector within the industry. And so here there's off-grid experiences that allow you to just be in the experience without any kind of digital attachment. And one of the luxury travel companies, one called Ravos Rail, they're based in South Africa. One of the key features is if you go on their luxury train travel, then you're not going to have access to the internet and the Wi-Fi. And so it really is about letting go of the digital world and being very much in the natural world as you travel through South Africa. So you could go on a journey from Cape Town through to Pretoria, or Cape Town, Pretoria, Joburg, and then into Zimbabwe to see the phenomenal Victoria Falls. So, why is this all coming about? Well, the off grid, letting go of the digital connections, and trying to fortify our lives because we want to be aging gracefully or disgracefully with some fun in there as well, fun and joy. The choice is yours. We're living longer. And so, what we're seeking to do is to bring more vitality and independence into our lives, using travel as a way to do that so that we can live with more joy, movement, and ease. Now, we as baby boomers born, from 1946 through to 1964, we grew up, we did a lot of our growing up in the 60s and 70s. And so we are known as the me generation insofar as we lived through the revolutions of the women's movement as well as the civil rights movement. And it was also the time for us to be popularizing the self-help movement. So we certainly did not in any way, shape, or form invent it, because we've got, canons that go back thousands of years in terms of philosophy and history and religion and mythology that has been shaping and guiding us along our journey of self-development, self-improvement. But I would say not only but it's the boomer generation that started to popularize it. And we can think of some luminaries who really led the way. Oprah's only in her early 70s. And so we were all Oprah'd when she was on, main primetime TV during the 80s, 90s, and noughties. And she really is one of the icons of personal development. And then if you look to the sadly departed Wayne Dwyer, as well as Tony Robbins, who's still very much with us, they are three examples who have led the way to personal exploration. And we as baby boomers immersed ourselves in that world. I remember when I trained to be an astrologer, I was very much part of that new age movement, self-exploration. So this is now coming back into our lives through travel. So look out for experiences about that. Now, there are many trends inside the trend of wellness. And so the first one is around nature-based healing. So think of, or if you've come across the term, forest bathing. So it's a Japanese practice. It's actually called Shinrin Yoku. And the idea here is that you're out in nature, in a forest, and you're relaxing and you're using the natural environment of the forest to help to soothe you. So it's very much about relaxation in the natural environment. Another one that encompasses the natural environment is called coastal therapy. So that's becoming more popular here in the UK in a place called Cornwall. But I remember my very first example and experience of coastal therapy was in Jamaica in the year 2000. And so I went there, I went to a phenomenal retreat there called Jackie's on the Reef, which is very much, it was on, the Atlantic Ocean. It was outdoor. And so there was very much this coastal vibe. But more importantly, it was a deeply healing place. It was a place where one could explore physical healing. I lost part of my hair. I was highly stressed. How you could get more into spiritual alignment, emotionally, spiritually, physically. So it was great. So if you're looking further afield, if you happen to be here in the UK, Cornwall is one place, but there's places around the world like Jackie's on the Reef, which is in the Grill on the furthest western point of Jamaica. Then there are experiences called cultural wellness. Now, if you think of India and their tradition of Ayurvedic treatments, they really have been booming. So you could go to India, for example, but there are places that are popping up around the world. But India is really the environment if you want to experience it from the most authentic base. Then if you go to North Africa, you could go to Morocco and experience the phenomenal hammam massages. So I had my first one last year when I was in Marrakesh, and it was the most deeply, I'm going to say eventually relaxing, but it was the most deeply I have ever being massaged. It's a treatment whereby you're scrubbed, your whole body is exfoliated, and then there is this wonderful deep massage that really goes exceptionally deep. One of the great things for me that came out of it was that I didn't have any knots in my body. So that's great. So that might be an indication that I'm on my journey of wellness, or certainly enhancing it. But if you ever get the chance, go to Morocco. Yes, you can find hammam spas around wherever you are. But if you want to have this sense of deep connection with yourself through exfoliation, spa, and this deep massage, then you have to check out the hammam experience. So, they are some of the trends that's happening within the wellness field. They are expanding and exploding. And, travel now is literally in our pockets with our phones, and there's so much to see and explore. So, as baby boomers, as you're planning out your travel for 2025, you could take advantage of some of the suggestions I've made, but also in terms of when you want to book your holidays. Now, February is known as one of the shoulder seasons, October is the other month. And the shoulder season is literally months within the year where you can pick up really good bargains of all types of travel. One of the things that I learned at the Destination and Travel Show is that there's more of a relaxation around when this shoulder season starts and finishes. So let's just say that the February season is bleeding a bit into the month of March, which means that you could be picking up some great bargains in both of those months, as well as October being the traditional month is also blending or bleeding into November. And so this is where, again, as I say, you can pick up some really good bargains. So that's what I wanted to share with you. Do let me know some of your travel experiences, whether you've already started dipping your toe or diving into this wellness industry of travel. Put your comments in the comment box below. Would love to hear where you've been, where you're going. And I look forward to seeing you again very soon on the next episode, where I'll be giving you the next segment in travel for baby boomers. Stay well, and I'll see you soon. Bye.